You ever have one of those nights where you feel like you figured your entire life out? You open Notion, you make the plan, you're waking up at 5 a.m., you're going to the gym, you're quitting junk food, you're tracking every dollar. You're finally becoming that disciplined person. And in that moment, you feel unstoppable. Fast forward 3 days, you hit snooze, you skip the gym, Uber Eats shows up. You tell yourself, I'll start again Monday. And then comes the worst part, not the failure, the confusion. You sit there thinking, what is wrong with me? I was so motivated. If that cycle sounds familiar, big burst of energy, short run of effort, crash, guilt, repeat, then yeah, this video is for you. Because the truth is, motivation didn't fade. It did exactly what motivation is designed to do. And once you understand that, you stop trying to stay motivated and start building a system that actually works. My name's Kevin, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people struggle to stay consistent with habits, discipline, and long-term goals. If you're someone who starts strong but loses motivation with fitness, productivity, money habits, or self-confidence, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, most self-help advice starts from the wrong assumption. It assumes, if I can just stay motivated, everything changes. That's like saying, if I could just stay hungry forever, I'd never need to eat again. Motivation isn't a power source, it's a spark, and sparks burn out. Let's talk about why. Here's the thing, motivation feels powerful, so we treat it like something solid, like a personality trait. Like some people have it and others don't. But motivation is just an emotional state, and emotional states are temporary. You don't stay excited forever, angry forever, sad forever. So why do we expect to stay motivated forever? This is where psychology gets interesting. Motivation is heavily tied to dopamine, the brain chemical associated with anticipation and reward. But here's what most people don't realize. Dopamine spikes before the action, when you imagine the better future, not during the boring daily grind. So when you plan your new life at 11:47 p.m., your brain is lighting up. You picture abs, money in your account, people respecting you, feeling confident. Your brain goes, yes, this is amazing. We love this future. But when the alarm rings at 5 a.m., there's no fantasy, no cinematic montage, just cold air and a warm bed. Dopamine drops. And your brain says, wait, this part kind of sucks. So motivation fades because the emotional high was tied to the vision, not the process. Your brain did not evolve for 6-month fitness goals or 10-year career plans. It evolved to conserve energy, avoid discomfort, and seek immediate reward. That's it. So when you try to build discipline, you're basically fighting millions of years of survival wiring. There's a concept called temporal discounting. It means your brain values rewards less the further away they are. Example, would you rather have $50 today or $100 in a year? Logically, $100 is better, but emotionally, $50 today feels more real. Now apply that to habits. Work out today, results in 4 months. Save money today, comfort in 5 years. Study today, better job in 2 years. Your brain goes, okay, cool, but can we have comfort now? So when motivation fades, it's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain doesn't naturally prioritize distant rewards. You're trying to run modern goals on ancient software. This is where most people destroy their progress. They say, I'll act when I feel motivated. That's backwards. Motivation is a result of action, not the cause of it. Think about the gym. Nobody wakes up excited to do their first set. But after 10 minutes, blood is flowing, music hits, you feel capable. Motivation shows up after you start. Waiting to feel motivated before acting is like waiting to feel clean before showering. Doesn't work. This is where it gets really interesting. Your brain builds confidence from evidence, not affirmations. You don't believe "I'm disciplined" because you say it. You believe it after you've shown yourself, repeatedly, that you follow through, even when you don't feel like it.
Here's what most people don't realize. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. If your identity is, "I'm bad with money," "I'm not a disciplined person," "I always quit," then every time motivation fades, your brain goes, "See, that's just who we are." But if your identity becomes, "I'm someone who does things even when I don't feel like it," everything changes. Not because tasks get easier, but because quitting feels inconsistent with who you are. Motivation is fragile. Identity is sticky.
We also ignore the physical side. You think you lack motivation, but you slept 5 hours. You're dehydrated. You've been on screens all day. Your stress is through the roof. Of course you don't feel driven. Your brain is in energy conservation mode. When energy is low, the brain pushes for scrolling, comfort food, easy dopamine, not hard growth. So sometimes lack of motivation is just your nervous system is cooked. This is why people feel motivated on Sunday nights and dead on Wednesday, because motivation collapses under exhaustion. Now, you might be thinking, "Okay, Kevin, cool science lesson, but I still keep falling off." Yeah, because you're designing your life around bursts, not baseline. You go 0 to 100, super strict, no margin, no rest, no flexibility. Then you burn out. Motivation fades because you tried to build a new identity in a week. You don't build a house by dumping all the bricks on day 1. Consistency beats intensity every time.
All right, here's the part that matters. If motivation always fades, what do? 1. Make habits so small they feel almost stupid. Instead of work out 1 hour, do put on gym clothes and do 5 minutes. Why? Because starting is the hardest psychological barrier. You're not building fitness, you're building the identity of, "I'm someone who shows up." 2. Design for low motivation days. Most plans only work when you feel good. You need a bare minimum version. Bad day gym rule. 10 minutes, then you can leave. You don't lose when motivation drops. You lose when you drop the system. 3. Remove friction. Your brain chooses the easier option, so make good habits easier than bad ones. You're not weak, you're human. Environment beats willpower. 4. Track evidence, not feelings. Don't ask, "Do I feel motivated?" Ask, "Did I show up today?" Because motivation lies. Action is proof. This isn't about productivity hacks. This is about direction. Tiny daily actions compound. Skip $15 takeout 4 times a week? That's over $3,000 a year. Skip workouts for a year? That's energy, confidence, health gone. Scroll 2 hours a night? That's 730 hours a year, the equivalent of working almost 5 extra months at a job. Your life isn't shaped by motivation spikes. It's shaped by what you do when you don't feel like it. That's where careers change, bodies change, income changes, confidence changes. Stop asking, "How do I stay motivated?" Start asking, "How do I act even when I'm not?" Because the people you admire, they're not permanently motivated. They just stopped negotiating with their emotions. They treat actions like brushing teeth, optional feelings, non-optional behavior. Look, motivation fading isn't your flaw. It's biology. But staying stuck because of it, that part is optional. So here's your move today, not tomorrow. Pick one thing you've been waiting to feel motivated to do. Make the version so small it feels almost embarrassing, and do it immediately after this video. not to change your life overnight, but to cast one vote for the identity of someone who follows through. That's how trajectories shift. That's how confidence becomes real. That's how you stop restarting and start becoming the person you keep imagining. And once you see that you can act without motivation, that's when motivation actually starts showing up more often. Funny how that works.